Hi guys, and welcome back to the next video on Videocreek chess. Today we'll be continuing our series on king versus king and pawn, and this is going to be part 2 of the series. For this video, I have decided to review again one of the positions I already reviewed in one of my previous videos, but then I would like to elaborate on this position. So this is about the same position that I showed in my video of 3 pawn break video. So, but I'm just going to explain some more about this position, right? So in this position, you can see that that the material-wise, the position is equal. But if we turn the engine here, it says that white is winning by plus 13.4, which means that the computer thinks that white is having an advantage of 13.4 pawns or points. And you see, the main factor is that both kings are quite far away. Like if the black king was really close to these pawns, was really close to these pawns over here, then the situation might be different. And also, white's pawns are also quite far advanced. See, they are at least 3 steps advanced or 2 steps. While black's these pawns are still on the starting line. So once I asked some other people what is the best move in this position for white, and you may have already seen this engine, but first I'm going to explain some of the other outcomes. So one of their responses was to move their king towards the pawns, capture them. But you see, these kings, right, they're facing each other. And this is something called opposition. And opposition is a position when the enemy king and your king are one square apart from each other. So your king can't advance further. So what they did was move the king to g5. But then that would not. But here, you see, white is still winning. But say black can do this. But then their goal was to keep moving the king. And now you see the position drops immediately to 0-0, the evaluation. Meaning this position will be a draw. Unless something else does not happen. So if we keep shuffling our kings, we will eventually start touching the pawns. But then this will be immediately, but this will be 100% a draw, because the black king has gotten close enough so that he can reach his own pawns. So back to the original position. One of them said that we could push c6. This may seem logical because c6 is the closest pawn to the kings. However, this is not true, and it is still a draw, because say if black takes this pawn, and if this happens, then this happens, and then all the pawns are blocked off and the position is a draw. In fact, it is winning for black, as you can see, by negative 8.9 points. Now, if black does this, it's just a draw, but say black still does that. If we take, black should not take off the c-pawn, because this white c-pawn has a clear path to promotion. So black should take off the a-pawn, and the pawns are blocked and the position is a draw. Otherwise, white can just block off the pawns and there will be a draw. For the a-pawn, it is a similar situation. Takes, and it's a draw. And this takes, it's a draw. and push forward is also a draw. So now I'm going to show you how to win this position. So you see, all the previous positions have either been attacking nothing or only attacking one piece. So the solution to this problem is to attack two pieces. So the reason you win chess games is because you create like unstable ones, you create imbalances in the position, so that there are both chances for you and your opponent to make a mistake or set up traps or create long-term plans that will result in your victory, defeat, or stalemate or draw. So the way to create imbalances in this position is to play b6, and now you're completely winning. You're up almost 60 pawns over here. So now black has a total of with his pawns 1, 2, 3, and 4 responses. All of them are losing for him, if we play the best moves, of course. So let's look at the first option, is that he plays a6, and by a6 we simply respond with bc. If he pushes c6, we respond with ba, and the pawn will promote. For example, if he takes the a pawn, things get a bit more interesting, because on my example I showed some other people and some of them took ab, and this is a draw because black can just shut him off. And taking like this is also a draw. But you see, the computer says, and I say the answer is c6, because you can see this pawn is something we call as overloaded. So you see, this pawn is protecting this pawn from promoting. It is being attacked right now, and it is also protecting this pawn from promoting. So to win this position, we have to sacrifice one of the pawns, and it is not it is not by sacrificing this pawn, because he takes, and if we do this, then black is completely winning with 2 passed pawns. And if we push this, black is still completely winning. So instead we push this pawn, exploiting this overloaded pawn. And now if black takes, we advance this pawn, and we have a clear route to promotion. And the same thing goes with this side. You see, we also push a6. And next move, we'll of course I didn't tell this, but if black just takes your pawn or pushes forward, we always take this pawn. So that's the same for the other position. So that is how you so this is a rare position that can occur in the endgames, but it is a good point where you should start learning your endgames. So this ends the video of how do you beat the 3 pawns versus 3 pawns position from the king and pawn versus king series. Have a good day.